first ever outdoor video diary. This is becoming quite a big part of my life, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, the first thing I noticed is that we're outside for the first time ever. Look around, isn't it beautiful? Sun going down over there.
I've always been a competitor in one sport or another. When I came to university in Aberdeen, I was part of the crew that won the university's boat race for the first time in over a decade. When I finished university, I moved to Aberdeen Boat Club and represented them all over Scotland, reaching the British Championships in 2013. After that, I made a bit of a jump and took a once-in-my-lifetime opportunity to row across the Atlantic Ocean. And so the event is referred to as the world's toughest row. It involves 3,000 miles of open water rowing between the Canary Islands and the Caribbean. My rowing partner didn't make it all the way across, so the second half of the voyage was down to me to row alone, which wasn't the plan. I hadn't prepared or trained for that.
My routine today is an absolute winner, so I'm going to stick with that, which is basically rowing all day, about 14 hours straight, only stopping for like 20 minutes to 40 minutes tops to eat, drink and go to the toilet and answer the odd text on the satellite phone, which is a brief and pleasant interlude to an otherwise very hard day. But the advantage is that I get a full night's sleep by doing that, which I'll benefit from an awful lot. Pumping water, but it's something you haven't seen yet, so I thought I'd talk you through it because it's very exciting. I'm just very bored. Anyone in the fleet who is complaining about the speed of their electric water maker, I'm going to punch him in the face. It's basically how the singles get over the fact that whenever they aren't rowing, the wind is just taking them wherever and everyone else is gaining on them. The solution, it seems, quite simple. You just row all day, like absolute stink, and do the same amount of miles that the pairs do in 24 that you want to do in 14, 15 hours instead. So even if I'm not competing with the pairs or the singles, even if I'm not quick enough to catch any of them, which I am desperately trying to do, by the way. But yeah, if it shaves that much time off my arrival time, oh hell, who wouldn't have a go, eh?
Duncan he showed a great amount of determination and courage to get himself across the Atlantic, crossing the finish.
I had extremely mixed and muted emotions stepping off the boat in Antigua at the other end. I didn't tell anyone before the race, but I was quite prepared to die in the attempt, and that mindset saw me through easily the toughest experience of my life. But it wasn't until months later that I realised and acknowledged that I hadn't truly been myself. I'd been very distant even with my girlfriend. Without wishing to sound cliche, it took some time for my head and my heart to also reach land. It made reaching shore in Antigua almost an out-of-body experience where I was present but not fully. I didn't really celebrate, cheer or drink, I just ate a meal and went to our accommodation in a bit of a daze. Overall, I was at sea for 75 days.
What were you before?
122. I am bang on 100 kilograms with
Sweet.
shoes and clothes on. So I've lost over 22 kilos. I set out to row the Atlantic at first as an opportunity to raise money for a children's hospital in London called Great Ormond Street. It's a hospital I attended very regularly ever since I was an infant. I had several complications at birth, the least of which was epilepsy. For a long time throughout my childhood, it was very unlikely that I would ever lead an independent life. It was possible I was going to be on medication or at least have some kind of care for forever. And fortunately, throughout teenagehood, I grew out of it, luckily. But there was always this sort of nagging doubt that I was never sort of fully independent. So when this row came up, it was a really ideal chance not only for me to give back, but also to prove something to myself as well as other people.